Mikey, you know, what a lot of people talk about is your power all the time. I think Marcos Maidana, I think Brandon Rios, I think anybody at Robert Garcia's gym has said you're the hardest fighter. Do you realize how hard you punch, and where did you find out that you could punch that hard?
I never see myself like a big puncher like that, but they all say that I'm, you know, heavy-handed. I mean, if it does, I mean, if they feel it, I mean, they can't be over-exaggerating. I mean, I've always said Valero hit the hardest, and I sparred everybody, you know, and I've always said Valero hit the hardest. You know, I spar Manny, I spar Valero, I spar Ponce, I spar, you know, you name it, I spar them. And I still say Valero hit the hardest. So if they say that I hit the hardest, that's probably true.
You know, and speaking of Manny Pacquiao, that was a fight that was discussed. You maybe moving up at some point. Is that still a fight that you like to take, and would you be willing to jump up all the way to 147 or a catcher to 140 since he's coming down to take that fight?
If he were to come down to 140, it's more likely that I'll take a fight with him. We're willing to fight anybody, really. Yeah. They just got to put him in the ring, you know. I know a lot of people will, you know, disagree and say that I'm not at that level yet or whatever, because he's already accomplished so much. But you don't need to accomplish all that. I mean, skills prove it in the ring. You know, you got the skills. He's got the experience, but so do I. I got the skills and the good team. I got the experience from my brother, from my dad. You know, I fought Salido. Everybody thought, you know, I may be a little green, and you know, I took care of that, you know, very easily. Vargas fought Campas, you know, and Vargas 14 fights and beat the shit out of him. I mean, skills beat experience, you know, and Pacquiao has been a great fighter. He's one of the best, you know, in the last decade. So it'll definitely be a good fight. I'll take that fight. Maybe not in my next fight right away, but you know, maybe a fight or two from now, we'll be ready for that.
What did you think of his performance against Algieri? And do you think, a lot of people are saying the old Manny Pacquiao is back. Do you feel that that's the case?
Well, Manny has always shown speed, power. He showed it against Algieri. He showed the aggression. He showed the power. Knocked him down, I don't know, 5-7 times. He couldn't stop him, but he still proved that he's there. He had the fast hands again. I mean, he's never really lost much. But, I mean, I know there's a lot of hype behind him, but you go back, I mean, who has he really beat? I mean, it's not like he beat a great, you know, champion that can prove him, you know, to where he was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. He beat Bradley, he beat Rios, he beat Algieri. That's a good string of victories for him. But I mean, if he beats a solid, you know, champion at 147, you know, then you're talking, you know, back to 3 years ago. Right now, he's got it. He hasn't lost it, but I still don't consider those victories a great accomplishments.